Hi, welcome back to my channel. I have 2 recipes today using canned chicken. It's an underrated product if you ask me, and I have a couple of recipes that have turned out pretty well using canned chicken. So the first one I have today is chicken enchiladas. I haven't done chicken enchiladas before with canned chicken, and I thought, I wonder how it would turn out. And turned out pretty darn great, if I do say so myself. So starting off with, I lightly fried some corn tortillas, but you could use flour and skip that step if you want to. It's up to you. And then I have a 12.5-ounce can of canned chicken, just white chicken packed in water. So I drained and I rinsed just the packing liquid off it. Just wanted to do that part. Okay, now starting with the filling, I have just eyeballing some sour cream in there to add some creaminess and a little bit of enchilada sauce. And then the seasoning I'm choosing to use are, just as you see here, garlic powder, smoked paprika, cumin powder, right there. And then I believe I put in some onion powder and some tahini. So, yep, there we go. And then I'm going to mix this all together and just add in what I think it needs. So that included some green onion, just the green parts, and some sharp cheddar cheese. And then I'm going to mix it up, and I'm going to end up adding in some more enchilada sauce and sour cream, because I felt like at this point it was a little bit too dry for my liking. So I wanted to add in some extra flavors that I used before, just doubling up on them because, you know, you gotta adjust. We're tasting and we're adjusting. That's what we're doing in this step. So, and then it'll just be perfect, and I'll set this aside. Also, you could preheat your oven. I went up to 400 for this because all we're doing is heating everything up and melting the cheese, and that's it. So I chose to go to 400. Preheat your oven though to whatever temperature you like, and I decided to use these disposable baking pans because what we like, my husband and I, and what my children like are 2 different things. So to keep them separate, I decided to use 2 different baking pans rather. Okay, and then this one is for the kids. So I'm just dipping each tortilla into the enchilada sauce and then put it on another plate and then begin to assemble the enchiladas. So we're just putting the chicken filling on the far side of the tortilla. You don't want to put it in the middle because then you won't have any room to roll. So I'm just putting chicken with a little bit more cheese on top, rolling it up, and then I'm going to put it in, I meant to say, the baking pan, and then just, I'm going to do this. I could fit like 3 in one of these baking pans. So that's what I am doing in this part. Okay, and I'm holding up this 8x8 baking dish because I decided to use this one for my husband and my enchiladas instead of the baking loaf pan, because this dish fits more enchiladas. I could fit about 4 in this one. So, and it would be much easier to decipher between the kids and mine, and my husband's and mine. So I decided to use a bigger baking dish, which it turned out really well. It worked. So on my husband's and mine, I have the chicken filling, I have onion, olive, and jalapenos, and a little bit of cheese on top. And I'm just going to assemble these, and we'll move on to the next step. And I just wanted to add that you don't have to dip each tortilla in the enchilada sauce before you put the filling in. You can just put the sauce on top after you're done assembling everything if you want. Like this. You don't have to dip each one into the enchilada sauce. That's just how I like to do it because I think the end product is just better. It's the tortillas don't get dried out this way, and I just prefer it like this. So after everything's all rolled up, I'll put some cheddar cheese on top of the enchilada sauce. Pour as much as you want over the top, and then add in the cheese on top of that, of the sauce, and then we're going to cover these with a little bit of foil and put them in the oven, like I said, 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. I think I left them in there for. And I'm just putting some green onion here on the top just because it makes it look better and it makes it look prettier, I think. Makes it look, gets you more excited for dinner, let's say. Okay, and then also I decided to serve some yellow rice on the side of this, along with some refried beans and chips. And this dinner turned out really good. My husband really liked it also. He's like, yeah, this is probably better than using ground beef because it's not as fatty. And he's right. So I'm sure I will make this again because it was really easy to make. I didn't have to spend time cooking chicken as an extra step. I just doctored up some already canned chicken and it turned out great. So I highly recommend trying this method for enchiladas next time if you want kind of a quicker version of it. Okay, and then moving on to the next recipe that I have. As it says here, I have Copycat Chick-Fil-A chicken salad. Truth be told, I haven't had the chicken salad from Chick-Fil-A. I normally don't eat out very often at all, but this recipe looked good to me and I thought I wanted to try it, so here we are. So I have one 12.5 ounce can again of chicken, and I'm saving the other half for another recipe on another day. I don't need a whole can for this chicken salad. I don't need to make that much at a time. It'll probably just be me eating it anyway. So I have a hard-boiled egg, and then I have one rib of celery here, but I did end up putting 2 in altogether because I love celery. I love the crunch that it gives, and I just decided to put in more. So let's see. Yeah, okay, now we're just chopping it up very nicely. These eggs turned out so well. I love the way I do my eggs now. It just works out so good. They turn out perfect every time, and they're so easy to peel. I do this, I should explain, by boiling water first and then putting the eggs in. And then I let them cook for 12 minutes covered, then put them immediately into ice water. Very cold ice water. Bunch of ice. Okay. Now I have, let's see. I decided this is too small. I did it again. So I had to transfer it over to a bigger dish, as usual. So we have dill pickle relish. I'm doing this to my taste, but I will have the full recipe linked in the description box for you, so you know the quantities for each ingredient. But I'm just eyeballing this. Like I said, this is probably going to be just for me, and I can have this for lunch for a few days. On this lunch, I had it on sourdough bread, toasted sourdough bread, but this would also be really good with crackers, like some wheat thins would be really good. Or even some chips, if you want to just grab some Doritos or something. This would be a good quick lunch or a quick snack in the middle of the day. Or it could be a light lunch also. You could do either way. There's lots of options here, people. Not just for a lunch, but many different things you could do. So it did actually say a sugar substitute in the directions here. So that's what I'm doing. And you do notice the sweetness a little bit, but it really kind of adds a little bit of depth to the flavor, the overall flavor of the chicken salad. So I'm just mixing this all up. I am adjusting the seasoning, tasting as I go again. I decided it needed some more salt. And I did put celery salt in also, and dill. I'm going to show that here in just a second. And here I am cutting up the second piece of celery that I mentioned a few minutes ago. And then I'm just going to put this into the fridge, let it chill until later this afternoon when I'm ready for lunch. And as I said, I ate this on sourdough toast and it turned out really great. I put a little lettuce with it and it was a good lunch. I ate it with a little bag of Cheetos and I had a sparkling ice. If you haven't had sparkling ice, like the drinks, they are so good. They are really, really good. My personal favorite is the berry, I think it's lemonade or something, but it's super, they're so good. I love sparkling ice. So yep, just finishing up my sandwich here and then I'm gonna eat lunch. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope maybe you found some inspiration with these recipes, and think outside the box a little bit with the ingredients you're using. It doesn't always have to be fancy recipes here and there. Like, it can be just a canned product that you doctor up and you make great, and it turns out just adding a little bit more variety to your weekly meals. So thanks for watching, and I have another great video coming up this week. Today's Tuesday. Upload it later in the week, and I'll see you later. Bye.